Good morning, everybody. We're going to get started a few minutes early this morning. Not a whole lot. Doing one thing real quick. If you don't mind, in the comments section, let me know if you can hear everything okay, and let me know if the visuals are coming in good as well. We'll drive off here in just a moment. Want to make sure that you can hear and see everything before we take off. We'll wait for folks to let me know. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that. How about the visual, Tim? Is the video okay for right now? Thank you, Lisa. Awesome. All right. I forget, there's a delay on my end, so even though I ask a question, it may not come through right away. Do me a favor, if you don't mind, hit that share button for me as well. I want to make sure that we reach as many people as possible. Thank you, Betty. Appreciate that. Jimmy, appreciate that. Anthony Moore, glad to see you on, my friend. Tara, I don't know about Cape. Haven't heard much about them just yet. We've got Vernon Barker right here beside me at Barker's Towing and Auto Repair. So thankful for him this morning. Thank you for coming out this morning early and hanging out with us again.
Oh, Frankie, it's always a blast to do this, and glad we're able to.
So let me know on the comment section if there's a place that you want us to go look at. I'll tell you, to give you kind of an overview, and Vernon's probably better off to, well, give us the overview this morning. You drove on the roads. I drove in from Brosley. It was a slow go of it this morning for sure, because not many people have been down my road. But when I got into town, it seemed like there were a few bare spots, but obviously still snow has covered most of the roadways here, even the side roads.
Yeah, coming in 67, I have to say, good job to MoDOT. They was out, all night working. I seen them periodically through the night, working the roads, and they've done a great job with what they've been able to do. With temperatures the way they are, Frankie, it's hard to do much other than just try to pushing it off the road there, but they've done a great job. 67's got one lane that's pretty much clear, coming from the south. Coming from like the 158, 160 area there. When I got into town, you've got the streets here in town are covered, but they've been worked and definitely passable as long as you drive with caution.
Absolutely. And by the way, we are on YouTube here this morning as well. I just posted that link to our YouTube channel. It is in the chat section. So let's go. What do you say?
All right.
We're about 5 minutes early. So once again, if you've just joined us, please hit that share button for us. The goal here, at least my goal is, I'm sure Vernon's is as well, we want to make sure that we reach as many people as possible. And by hitting that share button, tag your friends in it, and you can go back and re-watch this once we are done this morning.
I see we got somebody asking about M Highway to Stringtown. We won't be able to carry signal to be able to go out that direction, but I can tell you M Highway, like all the side roads right now, are gonna have snow on them, and I'm sure it will be passable, but you will have to drive with caution because they are going to be snow covered and slick in spots.
And just to give you a heads up, we probably will hit a few spots here this morning where our visual may second.
Right there by the radio station, is it?
Yeah. Kind of a dead spot there. Let me refresh my page here. I know we're still good. There we go. All right. All right. So do me a favor, those of you that are watching right now, tell me what temperature you got outside. More importantly, let me know where you're watching from. What community are you watching from this morning? Thank you so much, Gary. Appreciate you, my friend. Also, I was going to say, if you know of a business that is, well, I should have asked you, Vernon. You don't mind if I do that, do you?
What's it?
Ask for cancellations of area
Oh, no.
businesses. If you know of a business that's going to be maybe opening up late today, this morning, please feel free to let us know on the chat. Let us know. Because of your eyes, we're able to be successful at this. We sure can. We'll go down mod here in a little bit. We're going to take our normal road here this morning, our normal route rather. We're going to do that first off, and then we're going to hit the side streets. So this is 67. We're headed northbound. Man, it's amazing. I'm seeing all the temperatures. 4, 5 degrees. The wind chill this morning. When I was doing my radio show this morning at 6 a.m., we were at -10. Thank you, Tony. So Briggs will be delayed by 2 hours. What time, Tony, will first shift report, if you don't mind me asking, there at Briggs? Five feels like -10 in Brosley. I will agree with that 100%. We're up to 44 shares here this morning. Let's try to get to 100. What do you say, Vernon?
Well, I think that's doable.
I think it is too. I think what most folks want to know is I'll start the conversation. What's it going to take to get behind the wheel this morning of this bad boy?
Well, the roads aren't quite as bad. The roads aren't quite as bad today, Frankie. So that might be doable if we get enough shares.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Briggs, 7:45 and 8 o'clock. Thank you so much, Julie. I'll make sure the guys know that back at the radio station so we can get that on the air. I do know that the Brosley Senior Citizen Center, the Northside Nutrition Center, and the Wayne County Nutrition Center are all going to be closed today. Oh, I'll tell you what, Dana, Brenda, all sharing this post. You may not like that, Vernon.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of folks want to see me behind the wheel of this bad boy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, by the way. I should have said this before. I'm Frankie Castile, by the way. He's Vernon Barker. Molly, a little bit. You know, if you look at the radar right now, it looks like it's snowing right now, but it's actually a Vapking Academy is going to be canceled today. So once again, if we hit a stutter or two, we apologize. It's just the signal. It's very cold outside, so that's a good reason as to why. So was anybody brave enough yesterday or going to be brave enough today to let their kids go outside in this snow? I'm not.
You're not, huh?
Nope. I already told my son he wasn't going to go outside.
Well, it's definitely cold. If they go outside, they need to be bundled up and pay attention to what's going on, not stay out there too long.
Absolutely. Frostbite is a big deal. Hypothermia. You're welcome, Margie. He does. Vernon does have the heated seats. Thank you, James. Hayden's Barbecue is going to be closed today. Hey, Joshua's watching us in Branson. Awesome. How much snow did you get, Josh? I think we're up to close to 100 shares, which is amazing, by the way. Thank you guys so much. Hey, Wayne Wilcutt's tuning in this morning.
Good morning, Wayne.
I think Wayne's thinking the same thing I'm fixing to say. He says, he's going to say, Vernon, let Frankie drive this truck.
All right, Wayne. As they're making it here through Northwestwood, Frankie, you can definitely tell that the roads have been worked on.
Yep.
That they've done a good job, but there is going to be slick spots, so people need to be paying attention, especially getting on and off of Westwood. The side streets are still going to be covered, and your parking lots are going to be covered. So, you know, truck right now is showing to be 5 degrees outside. This stuff's not going to melt, and what chemicals and stuff they put down is going to have a hard time of working if it works at all. So,
absolutely,
they're going to have to pay attention to that.
Tracy, about mid-cotton steel and wire, can you tell me what time that is today? That first shift will not be open? I've had a few folks ask me that on the radio as well. Good morning, Dale. Hey, Erica, glad to see you tuning in. The parking lot, Travis, at Hefner's was snow covered. And I think we're going to see a lot of that here this morning. A lot of parking lots are still going to be snow covered. Vernon, you think?
Yes, for sure. I've seen companies out removing snow off of parking lots and stuff all through the night, but a lot of parking lots and areas are not going to be cleaned off, so they're definitely going to have to pay attention on parking
Absolutely.
lots and pulling in and out of them.
Donna, Barron Road is snow covered this morning. Most of your side roads is going to be completely snow covered right now. Deborah, 67. I think north of town, 67 is one lane clear. Is that right, Vernon?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I have not been north of town this morning, but I'm going to say that's correct.
Bill Taylor used to be our superintendent for the highway department. He says he doesn't miss all this covering or getting rid of the snow. I bet not.
I bet Bill doesn't. He done it for quite a few years there. So
did a great job at it too.
I'm sure he enjoys getting up and drinking his coffee and not having to worry about it.
Hey, Nico. No, it's not Mule Sports. We took a little break for right now. Yeah, we're headed there now, Brianna. We'll let you know. We'll go by the hospital, Academy Sports and Outdoors. I was told that a lot of I believe all the urgent cares in Poplar Bluff at the hospital, they're going to be delayed until about 10 a.m. this morning, I believe. I believe.
We're on Oak Grove now. As you can see, Oak Grove is completely covered. It is passable, but I want to err on the caution side that you need to drive with caution. Don't drive like the roads are dry.
Lisa, he's going about 10 miles an hour, 10 to 15. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate that. Let's see. So,
Want to turn around at the hospital?
Yeah, we can do that. I'll try to move the camera around a little bit too, so that way you can kind of see for yourself.
Hospital or Academy?
Whichever one is easiest for you. The parking lot here at Walmart neighborhood, it's snow covered, which I'm looking at Academy right now.
Looks like Academy's had some snow plows in there working on it. So
same thing with the hospital too. Yeah, each location, Academy and the hospital, they've had some snow plows working on it. The highway 67 was, one lane was pretty much clear. Just got to be careful when you're driving on the main highways. It's going to be your side roads here this morning. It's going to be the ones in question.
Shout out to Darren Gardner. He, looks like we might have lost connection there.
We're still good.
Oh, we're still good?
We're still good.
I was going to give a shout out to Darren Gardner. He stayed in and is collecting the calls right now for the wrecker service side. That he's the one that's answering the phone, so he didn't come out with us this morning to do the ride along. He's normally with us.
And that does remind me. Well, we've got over 500 folks watching right now this morning. That's amazing, by the way. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please hit that share button for us. We want to make sure that the folks at Barker's Towing, which they know how big this is, we want to make sure they see the love as well.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate everybody watching us, and when we're out in town, we're always hearing people saying they're waiting to see our videos. So that's great.
M Highway, yes, Miss White, it is covered. That's correct, right? M Highway, yes. You said? Yeah, M Highway is covered. Westwood, Aaron, one lane is clear for the most part on both sides. You're welcome, Angie. And usually I like to take credit for a lot of things. Those that have watched sports, I always tell people, If the video goes over well, it was my fault. If there's any problems, it's Tim Hicks's fault. But these ride-alongs, honestly, were all Vernon's idea at Barker's Towing. He came to me a couple of years ago and said, hey, what can we do? What can I do? You think if we started doing ride-alongs, people would watch? And I said, I don't know. Let's give it a try. And here we are 3 years later.
Yep, it's been fun doing it, and we're glad we're able to get out and show some people what the roads look like. That way, and you can make a decision on whether you need to be out here or not, and it maybe to keep you from getting out and getting in an accident. And so that's what we do it for, and we're just glad to do it.
Thank you, Cody. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you guys so much for sharing. We weren't really sure if we were going to do one or not. We're going to go down Shelby Road. Tara, that's probably a good idea if you can. Brenda, I'll let you know here in just a minute. You're welcome, Laura. You know, I'm just glad, honestly, that pretty much all the schools around here are already closed anyway because of the holiday.
That's right.
You know, a big holiday today, so just takes the easiness off the superintendents. And man, I don't want their jobs having to make a decision. You got a 1-2 punch. You've got the snow, which it didn't snow a whole lot, but it's the cold weather. That's the problem.
Yeah, you add the cold weather in with it, and that's another thing people need to be thinking about. You decide you're going to get out and go on to work or whatever, make sure you throw some extra clothes in there, blankets, you know, because if something was to happen, you know, the emergency personnel and Barker's Towing will get there as quickly as we can. But, you know, if we're backed up or, you know, the roads are slick so you can't drive as fast, you're out there in the cold, you need to make sure you got plenty of clothing to keep you warm.
Absolutely. 60s, one lane was clear and one lane was snow covered in each direction, east and west.
Oh.
That's my fault. Oops. Flat tire. There we go. W Highway, Robin, it is snow covered. My grandma lives on that highway.
We're on Shelby Road now, and W Highway is going to look about like Shelby does, I'm sure.
Carla, Donovan, my boss lives over there in Donovan, and he says pretty much what you're seeing right here is the way most Donovan roads look here this morning. Of course, I've not been over to Donovan, but my boss lives over there, so he's letting me know. And I'll send him a private text to make sure that is correct. 60 towards Dexter. One lane is clear, one lane is snow covered. On both, and going in both directions too, by the way. Thank you, Shelly. Coming up on 200 shares. Boy, that'd be great if we can get to 250 or 300. That'll be amazing.
Yep.
Felix, Barron Road is like this. Snow covered this morning. Jessica, we're headed that direction right now.
Where's that?
You want to go down, take Shelby Road down to 53?
Yeah, we can.
Cool. Yeah, we'll stay on Shelby Road, and we're going to head down toward 53. 21 North in Donovan. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. What would you say, Vernon? You're driving. Would you say the roads that we're on right now are extremely icy, or how would you describe them?
They're snow covered. They are going to be slick. There's you know, there was a little bit of moisture underneath this snow that's obviously frozen. You can see the glassiness underneath it, but you know, they are drivable, but you know, you're driving on snow with a little bit of ice underneath it, so you need to drive with care.
From Donovan to Poplar Bluff. Thank you, Nick, for that. I appreciate that. So now we're going to go by the police department here. I agree, Charles. I'll tell you what, I don't drink the coffee, but I'll take the hot chocolate. How about that? I'm not a big coffee drinker. Are you a big coffee drinker, Vernon?
It depends. cooler mornings like this, I definitely can drink some.
Heather, 60 highway going toward Dexter is one lane is snow covered, one lane is clear for the most part. Brenda, yes, it looked like there was cars in the parking lot there at 10 Box. We're right in front of the police department now. Main Street is snow covered. Dental Arts, thank you, Travis. Appreciate that, sir. So Dental Arts will be closed today. He says keep warm and stay home. All right, Cheyenne, I like that. Donut House, the best. 600 people watching right now, Vernon. That's incredible. Julie says she's got to have iced coffee every day. Okay, Julie, I'm gonna ask you a dumb question because I don't know. Is there like a lot of flavors of iced coffee, or is it all one flavor? Do you drink iced coffee, Vernon?
No, I don't do the iced coffee.
Okay.
I see a lot of people drinking it. My wife drinks it sometimes.
Let's see. Tracy is watching from Texas. What part of Texas are you watching from, Tracy? You guys got some ice, didn't you? Or I think some parts of the state did anyway. Maud Street was snow covered at Cheyenne. Get any flavor. All right.
As we're going down Shelby Road here, like most of the outer roads in town, it is snow covered, drivable, but just drive with caution.
You're welcome, Cheyenne. Yeah, pretty much, Samantha. And the thing of it is, and I'm sure Vernon's already covered this a little bit, what you see on the roads right now, it's going to have a hard time melting. We don't have sunshine, and it's only going to be maybe 10 to 15 degrees. And I'll be honest with you, they were saying 15 degrees, but they also said last night it wasn't going to get as cold as it did. So I've got a hard time believing that it's going to get to 15 degrees today. Carla's watching from Florida.
What's the temperature in Florida today?
Yeah, go ahead and make us all mad.
Yeah.
See, Tracy says she's watching from Georgetown, Texas. Little ice right now, 17 degrees. Aaron's watching from Panama Beach. Boy, do I dare ask how the weather is down there in Panama.
Definitely going to make us jealous.
Yes. 60 highway, Carla, is one lane is clear, one lane is snow covered in both directions. Yes, it is, Casey. It's very bumpy here on Shelby Road. Yes. Somebody heard it in the voice.
Yeah.
Sammy's watching from South Carolina. Boy, that's a lot of fun, Sammy. The question is, if Sammy needed a tow, would you go all the way to South Carolina? That's the question.
That's the question.
Only if I can go with you.
I'm going to say that, I'm not going to say that we wouldn't go there, but it could be pretty expensive. I don't know if the viewers have seen it or not, but the SUV that was turning right there on 53 highway, they was trying to get stopped and all four wheels was locked up and they was sliding as they was going in front of the camera there. I don't know if it got picked up or not. I'm guessing from what I'm seeing here, everybody's going through the lights are not working.
Gotcha. Yep, the lights are not working here, so we're
gonna ease through the light here.
I'll send my good buddy Dave Williams a message from the city police department to let him know.
Probably the sensors just aren't picking it up from the snow.
Yep. Thank you, Angela. She says extremely slick in Harville, showing 2 degrees on the old thermometer outside. Samantha, I was going to ask folks about that. I haven't heard. We're on 53 now here in town. As you can see, one lane or both lanes are covered. Just the turn lanes are going to be covered right now. About where do you live, Samantha? Like what part of the county? Do you live in Butler County? Is it a different county? I haven't heard of a lot of power outages so far, which is great news, but Samantha says she woke up to no lights this morning. So,
wow, I hate to hear that, especially as cold as it is. Hopefully you got some alternative heat there that you're able to stay warm.
I don't want to go too far down 53 out of town because obviously service becomes an issue. We're going to cut over here to, while we're on 53, we're going to cut over here toward the industrial park area. I know a lot of folks, I know Briggs and Stratton is canceled or delayed, not canceled, but delayed. We'll give folks an idea. These are some of the side streets here leading to the industrial park road.
Yeah, this is Fair Street headed towards the industrial park. As you can tell, it's definitely snow covered.
Got some folks tuning in on YouTube this morning as well. That's awesome.
So Frankie, was your son excited about all the snow this morning?
He was disappointed because for those of you who don't know, my son is a weather nut. That's all he does.
I was going to ask you what his prediction was.
He said 3 to 5. I said 1 to 3 all along. He said 3 to 5.
Oh.
He wasn't too thrilled that I was right and he was wrong.
Oh, Dad was right.
Oh, Dad was wrong. Oh, was right. Julian, is that first shift or is that for the whole day? The information that I got this morning was first shift. If you can clarify, that'll be great. And if it is all day, we'll get that corrected on our end too. We're about 20 shares away from 300. I know we can hit that. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. So he says that he just checked the Ozark Border website and the app, and they're not showing any power outages, which is great.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being a lineman having to go out and try to get. Oh my goodness, those guys are so underappreciated. We appreciate all of our linemen for sure. Yep, we can, Richie. Go toward Gates. As long as our signal holds out. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, I think that's how it is. This is for first shift. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate that. That's what I thought too, was first shift. Cassie wants to know, Vernon, how slick it is as you're driving.
Because we're in four-wheel drive and being in this heavy wrecker, you don't notice it quite as bad. But there is some slick spots, just like right back there on 53 where that car was sliding. And there's going to be spots you're going to, when you're coming up to stop signs and stuff, just use caution, start slowing down before you get there. We're going ahead and turn here, I guess, and somebody asked us to go down by Gates.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep, we'll go down by Gates since we're already here. It's going to be just a cloudy, dreary day.
Looks like there's quite a few vehicles in the Briggs and Stratton parking lot down there.
Yeah. So while I got almost 600 people watching, how much snow did you guys really want, if you don't mind me asking? Are you guys happy with the 1.5 to 2 inches, or did you guys want more? Westwood, Scott, it was one lane was clear, one lane was covered on both directions. Oops, can you go down? Can you? Yep, you can. Yep, on W Highway and four-wheel drive. A lot of folks wanted more snow. Some wanted the ungodly amount of snow that we're never going to get.
Well, I'm just glad it was snow and not freezing rain and sleet.
Yes, no doubt. I missed her comment earlier. My good friend, Miss Judy Lunsford, is tuning in. Glad to have her alongside. Big fan of yours, Vernon, by the way.
I'm glad she's on watching us.
I think she's more of a fan of yours than she is mine, to be honest with you.
Oh, is that right?
I think so. I know my kid wanted more. My daughter, not so much. She works for the school district now for Poplar Bluff, so snow days to her don't mean the same.
Ah.
Because she still has to go to school anyway.
Well, we made it down here. We're going to turn around in the Starting USA parking lot.
All right. Wondering if I would be able to make patient visits today. Have a lot of rural areas. I'll tell you what, Tammy, making those rural stops here today, you're going to see a lot of roads that are going to be snow covered. You know, I know here in Butler County, the highway department, they've been out working as well, but they're having the same problem that MoDOT's having, in the fact that there's just not enough, there's just no chemicals that's going to help you when the temperatures are 5 degrees above zero.
Oh. You know, while we got a lot of people on watching, I definitely want to give a shout out to all the road departments.
Sure.
Butler County, City, MoDOT, they've all been out doing a great job. And one of the things that I noticed last night when we was out, that we had a few accidents to work last night and early this morning. And you know, one thing that I wish people would do is give the plow drivers room to do their job. And I seen a lot of people running up on them last night and stuff, and they've got a hard enough job, you know, doing what they're doing, and trying to keep their trucks on the road and not have, you know, they don't need to have to worry about somebody running over them. And I seen that quite a bit last night. So just when you see the road departments out there working, give caution around them and let them do their job.
Let's see, how long will roads be bad? You know, Eric, that's a great question. You know, typically I would say that by the time we got off work this afternoon, the main roads would be clear, but I'm not so sure today, Vernon, because of how cold it is.
Right.
I just don't know.
I'm gonna say a lot's gonna depend on what the sun does.
I like James's comment. We need the old Missouri weather back. Snow one day and 60 tomorrow. Yeah. I like that. Yes, Travis, PP is covered. PP Highway, W Highway, M Highway, AA Highway, I know for a fact was covered this morning in Butler County. Thank you, Angela, for that. And let us know if Mid-Continent decides to cancel second shift. Make sure and let us know, and we'll make sure to pass that information on. You're welcome, Judy. Absolutely. Big thank you we were giving love to the highway department, our law enforcement, EMS workers, firefighters. Can you imagine being a firefighter right now, having to go to a call?
Oh, definitely wouldn't want to have to go right now.
Double N Highway, Tabitha, that's in the Culin area. It was covered this morning. I've got some friends down there who reached out to me and told me that it was covered in both directions. We're gonna get on 142 and head back toward town. We'll go to a couple of side roads here. Kathy, interstate was partially covered. I was checking the MoDOT map earlier, and it was showing one lane covered, one lane clear on the interstate. At least from, I say that was from Sykeston to Cape Girardeau. Thank you so much, Miss Smith. I appreciate that. She says, Vernon, you're a rock star with Barkers, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you.
Roads toward Greenville to St. Louis. Brenda, according to MoDOT's travel information map, it was showing mostly covered this morning. Oh, got you, Angela. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So, Kathy, yes and no. They are slick. We saw a car spin earlier going through a stoplight. Vernon's got his four-wheel drive on, so we don't notice it as bad. I had my truck in four-wheel drive this morning as well, so it was kind of hard to notice it. You're welcome, Jimmy, no problem. appreciate you guys for watching this morning. And thank you again for all the shares. That I'm just overwhelmed. 329. Tell you what, let's get to 350, and then I'll be extremely happy with 350. Emma, now my son says yes, but I haven't seen anything. We may get maybe a little bit more this afternoon or this evening, but it's not supposed to accumulate. But obviously, anything that we get on top of this would be just an added headache.
Right.
You're welcome, Anita, no problem. You betcha. You know, honestly, thank Vernon for all this. It's Vernon's brainchild. He had the idea, he wanted to do something for the community, and thankfully we've got a great platform at KWOC, and I'll take credit for that. I've had a big hand in growing K-Walk to what it is, and I'm very excited about that. 53.
Definitely have. Frankie's done a great job with K-Walk, and at everything that he does with the radio station and on the Facebook is just outstanding for the community.
Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate that, my friend. Are you guys going to be open today at L&M? So yeah, 53 looks like it's pretty much covered. I can look down, and you're going to have, I think 53 for the most part, you're going to have mostly covered on 53. Yep, we're headed there now, actually.
Where's that?
We're going to go over the viaduct here. I hope not, Angela. I didn't see, did it say, Angela, how much that we could get? Did they give out any accumulations? You're welcome, Valerie. Thank you for watching this morning. We know a lot of folks are going to make their decision. Stay with us. It'll come back. How the outskirts of town, really good. And it's in the town where it gets kind of dicey.
Yep. You know, when you're driving around, if you don't realize it, just you trying to make video.
We are on WW or South Broadway coming up. Thank you, Jeremy. I was going to ask you about Lake Wapapello as well. Try to go over to the east side, assuming service gets better.
Driving on Ditch Road here, coming up on the viaduct, you can see that the roads have been traveled quite a bit, and of course they've been plowed. Turning lane is completely covered. You do have driving lanes, but there's going to be sections on this that is slick. So
absolutely,
if you're out driving, just because as you can see it, you know, you can see the pavement does not mean that it's not slick there.
It is Code Lee. How are things in Evansville, Indiana this morning? He's a big basketball fan, Mr. Wallace is.
Yeah.
Been tuning in for a long time on sports. So now we're going to go over the viaduct here, Black River Coliseum on the other side. We'll make a couple of more stops. We'll go on the east side of Bluff. Could be to an inch. Well, if we do get an inch of snow, Angela, then that's going to complicate things a little bit more.
Yep.
Oh, I'm pretty sure, Tony, 49 is going to be terrible, I would imagine. I know Tim lives up that direction. Tim, if you're still watching, have you heard how the roads are there in Wayne County about where you live? Travis, Barron was completely covered this morning when we drove by. So if we do get an inch of snow, or even if we get, you know, maybe a half inch to another inch of snow today, especially tonight or this evening, Angela, did it say, was it you that was telling me about, yeah, Angela. Do you know if the snow was going to be falling this morning, or was it going to be falling this evening? Because I haven't seen any of that yet. So as of right now, I don't know if we're going to do another video tomorrow morning. I guess it all depends on how much melting we get today, and if we get any more snow this evening.
seen the fire department go by with their
Yep.
lights and sirens on. We'll be praying for them.
Yeah, showing snow noon to 3. Okay, thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. Diana, we'll have to wait and see how everything progresses. So now we're back on the main highway here on 60. We're gonna go down 60 highway here to the east side to kind of show you a little bit. So this is 60 highway, and I know whenever I drove in this morning at 4:30, it looks identical. Not much has changed. And it's not gonna change because of the temperatures being so cold.
Our truck temperature right now is showing to be 5 degrees.
5 degrees. Let's see what. So my app is showing, and I use a weather service app. It's showing 5 degrees. It's a balmy wind chill, -8.
-8.
By the way, while I got everybody still on, nearly 600 people still watching. I am not an animal person bringing animals inside the house, but I brought my animals in. Did you guys do the exact same thing? I know my dogs are living their best life right now in the house.
Enjoying that warmth, are they?
Tiffany, thank you for letting us know. She says a car fire out in Twin Rivers area. That's where the fire truck was headed.
Hopefully everybody's okay.
Yeah, we'll be praying for them.
I don't want to go too far out this way because I'm worried about our signal dropping.
Me too. So we're going to turn around here, but you get an idea what 60 looks like. As you get out of town toward the main 60 highway, this is about what it's going to look like. One lane is going to be covered, the other lane will not. So we're going to turn around here safely. NN Highway, Taylor, it was covered. Holly, question. Do you think, someone can make it to Cape? I think so. I think you'll have to take it slow, but I think you can get to, depending on where you're coming from. But I think you can get to Cape safely. Don't think I would encourage it if you didn't have to, but that's just.
That's right.
Yeah, if you don't have to do it. So I definitely felt it there. So if you have the snow-covered roads, you got to take it extremely careful. Thank you, Miss Kathy. She'll probably kill me for saying this, but Miss Macklin does such a great job with the Sheriff's Department, with Butler County Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Dobbs is lucky to have her as the office manager, I'll tell you that.
Does a good job for him.
She does. Sheriff does a great job, but she keeps that department running, let me tell you. Thank you, Kevin. I'll let Vernon know. You're doing great work, he says.
Oh, well, thank you.
He just thinks it's time for let a real driver get behind the wheel at some
right?
point.
Uh-huh.
Our good friends over here at Southeast Sign and Graphics. I wonder if Kelly's watching right now. We should go in and honk at her. 160, Donna. It was covered going toward Fair Dealing and toward Donovan. I got that information from the sheriff over there in Ripley County.
Kelly should have been out waving at us.
She should have been.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Disappointed in you, Kelly.
You know how I know that this road show is such a success?
How's that?
Here we are, our first snowfall of the year. It's 7:25 in the morning, and I would dare say that as far as shares, viewers as well, already 400 shares here this morning. That just tells you
that's great.
That the community really believes in your product, Vernon.
Well, I'm glad they're able to get on here to look at it and share it. and hopefully we make help with making the decision on whether you're going to get out and try to drive on these roads.
I need to go get salt and shovels and food for the house. Need to know what to expect. Terry, where are you asking about? Poplar Bluff, or if it's Poplar Bluff, you're getting a really good idea what the roads are right now. Hey Kim, glad to see you tuning on. Deborah, we went down that direction. Township line was snow covered in both directions, north and or east and west. We'll take you on some side streets here. We've seen the main roads here. We'll take you down some side streets, because the side streets, I'll tell you, they're covered.
Yeah.
They're not. And I know the city road workers have done an amazing job. They've been out all night long, but it's just tough to battle this. I mean, I really feel for them.
We'll just turn here. I believe this is 7th Street.
7th Street. Yep, we're going to go down 7th Street. We're headed there now, Felix. We're going to head toward Main Street. Man, we've got some, I wish you could see this. We've got some shovelers out there here in the FCC Behavioral Health Crisis Center. They're out there shoveling the snow in the parking lots. If you're going to be outside shoveling, man, be careful. It's bad enough shoveling snow whenever it's 30 degrees, let alone 5.
Yeah, it's bitter cold.
Scraping ice is extremely, yep, absolutely. I'm taking you down some back roads here. We're at 7th and Kinzer right now. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that very much. It means a lot to me. I know it does Vernon too. Oh, I don't want to say who she is, but I got a good friend of mine. She may get mad at me if I tell you who she really is, so I won't. But she is watching us right now, Vernon, from, let me go back to that message. Watching us from the Caribbean.
Oh, really?
On a cruise, hanging out.
Cruise.
It's 80 degrees, I would say, on this cruise.
Yeah.
And they're still hanging out watching us in 5-degree weather. I appreciate that a lot. And yes, you definitely would be a first, I'm sure. Mike says, howdy, glad to see you're tuning on. Pershing going up to Highland to 67. Well, you're getting a really good idea about how it looks right here.
I got a pretty good idea of who's on that cruise, and
too.
I've seen some of her pictures. Looks like they're having a good time, and it's definitely warmer there than it is here.
She definitely picked the right week to get out of the country. Claudia, yeah, you would know who I'm talking about. Oh, that's a great point, Ashley. Thank you. You know, we get so caught up in the road conditions. Don't forget the bread shed has opened as a warming shelter. Yep, the bread shed opened up last night at 7 o'clock. Appreciate those guys for stepping up for our community. Thank you, Ashley, for the reminder. Mike says he's wearing shorts. I bet you're not. You may be wearing shorts in your house. And so now we're going to go to Main Street here. So Main Street is, as you can see, it's... Thank you, Miss Sherry. Can I give a shout out real quick?
Yeah.
Sherry's watching us from Heartland Express. They're on 67 there.
Yep.
I've already been this morning, Miss Sherry. Went in at 5 a.m. and got my bologna sandwiches.
I started to say, have you already been there?
I've already been there. I've already been there. I've been going there for every morning for the last 6 years, getting my bologna sandwiches.
I started to say, I know you go there pretty much every morning.
I do. They've got great staff, and the bad thing is they know me by a first name, and I can tell them how to ring it up in their register, because I've been there for every day now. Thank you, Miss Sherry. Appreciate you for tuning in. So this is Main Street. Somebody was asking about Main Street earlier. I don't think so, Christine. I think the bread shed is going to be open now as long as the weather is 20 degrees or below.
Oh, is that right?
Or under 20. I think so. I'll double check that. So we got off of Main. We're here on 9th Street. 15 in Fountain Hill, Arkansas. Mix until about 3 o'clock. Well, I'll tell you what, Vicky, not to be the bearer of bad news, but you can keep that mix down there. I'm ready for the sunshine to come back out and for it to get about 70 again.
Traveling down 9th Street. I figure we'll go down 9th Street and cut some of the back streets there back to the radio station.
Yep, sure.
That, as you can see, the side roads are definitely covered, so if you're out and about, just drive with caution.
So yeah, all these side streets are going to be just completely ice covered, or snow covered, not ice covered, snow covered. Vernon, before we get back to the radio station, anything that you want to pass on to our viewers here this morning?
Oh, we've pretty much covered it as we've been driving here, Frankie. I just want to say to please be careful if you're out. It's definitely cold, and we don't want somebody getting out there and freezing. You know, if they have an accident or wants to have a breakdown, but. You don't have to give Barker's Towing a little plug here if that does happen. Definitely just remember Barker's by request.
785-7811. How about that?
That's right.
Thank you so much, Tammy. Appreciate that. By the way, for those of you that are still watching, still loads of people watching. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. I've seen some plows out. Yes, Jim. W Highway is covered in both directions. My son says that more snow is on the way. Now, he says it could be heavy at times. Now, I will say he watches this like a hawk. So I don't know how accurate. Oh, wait a minute. He's sending me a picture now. I don't know. Well, you know, he may not be far off. Southside was covered, Nicole. Anita, I'm in North Carolina. Thank you so much, Anita, from North Carolina. So that gives you an idea of how the roads are. If things do, you know, if we get more snow coming up this afternoon, tonight, we will make sure, and I'm sure we'll do another video tomorrow. Maybe one this afternoon too, depending on how it looks. And I know that Barker's will be busy pretty much all day.
Yep. If the roads are still showing where it looks like we need to do another video, we definitely can.
Absolutely. So we're gonna end the video here. I'm hoping that we were able to answer all your questions, and thank you again for watching. If you've not done so, please go back and share the video. We want to reach as many people as we can. Somebody was asking about a plow. There's one right there from the city department. They're in Poplar Bluff, so they're out in full force. So thank you again for tuning in. Gloria, the countryside, the roads are very slick, snow covered. I'll sit here before we end the video. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask, and we will answer them as fast as we can. My son says, he says to make sure to remind folks that the snow is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. I agree, son.
Yep. Well,
You're welcome,
Maybe
Glory.
we need to get him to ride with us too, Frankie.
I tried to get him on the video last night, but he's just bashful. He likes to be behind the scenes kind of guy.
Ah, well, understandable.
All right, so looks like no questions. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you again. And thank you to Vernon Barker and Barker's Towing for everything they do, not just for us, but for the community. Remember, if you do need a tow, whatever the case may be, it's Barker's by request, 785-7811. Thank you, Miss Paula. Appreciate that. And like Vernon said, if we need to go live later on this afternoon, we will. In the morning, same situation. We'll just take it, hour by hour and kind of see where we're at. Final thoughts, Vernon?
Nope, just glad we was able to do this, Frankie. Once again, you've done a great job with getting everything set up and having us ready and having the platform for us to do it. And I'm just glad that Barker's Towing was able to be part of it.
Absolutely, and a big shout out to Tim Hicks. I mean, he's
Yes.
the one that came up with the idea for the equipment that we should be using. So I appreciate Tim and everything that he does. And thank you again for watching. We will let you get back to your day. Have a blessed Monday. Be warm and check on your pets. Change out their water. And obviously the water is frozen outside, so give them fresh drinking water. Check on your neighbors. And we'll get through this together, and we'll be back with you if we need to. So once again, thank you for watching. It is Barker's by request, 785-7811.